like I say, it's like a muscle. You have to grow. And generally it takes a few months to grow that muscle of confidence that comes with moving your body and living a healthier lifestyle, finding what you truly enjoy about it, and then seeing results. That's a huge one for people too. It's like when they actually start seeing the results, they're more inclined to stay with it.
You know what I absolutely love about the women I get to interview on this podcast? It's their raw honesty about the messy, beautiful, complicated journey of being a mother who's also trying to figure out who she is and what she wants from life. My conversation with Moriah from Mighty Mama was one of those conversations that just hits you right in the heart because her journey took her all over the place and somehow found her way to exactly where she needed to be. Meet Moriah from Mighty Mama today. She's a personal trainer and health coach who's on a mission to remind all the mamas out there that their health is the heartbeat of their whole family. Enjoy today's conversation. It's been such a joy speaking to Moriah. She has had a journey like so many of ours. She studied graphic design and then realized sitting at a desk all day made her feel like she was in prison and had the courage to completely pivot. There's been life in England. She moved to Costa Rica. And through all of this, she was trying to figure out who she is, what her purpose was, and what work would actually light her up. Welcome to Mama What's Next, a podcast for all the amazing women navigating the wonderful challenges of exploring a new version of yourself after becoming a mom. I'm your host, Melly, and together with my incredible guests, I'm here to help you explore who you are now and help guide you to your true path, one that feels authentic and fulfilling at the same time. Motherhood changes everything, yes. It's beautiful, transformative, and sometimes it pulls us away from the woman we were. Together we dive into career change stories and how to live a life that truly reflects who we are without guilt and with the courage to embrace your journey. So get yourself a coffee, steal a moment for yourself, and let's explore this next chapter of your life. I am super happy that you're here. Welcome. Hello, Moriah. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
I loved some of the things you shared with your work, and I would like to just ask you first, what has been your journey so far? Where do you live? And how did you come to do what you do? You work in the fitness area. You're helping moms stay healthy and fit, specifically targeted to mothers. And yeah, you've shared some really beautiful things online, and that's why I invited you. So thank you so much for joining me.
Awesome. Well, those are some big questions, so I'm going to do my best to remember them. When I think back on my journey, honestly, it's kind of like all over the place. I'm definitely not just like graduated high school, went, did the thing, into the thing and stayed in the thing. It's definitely been like kind of all over the place. And I think that's an entrepreneurial mindset. And I think that's why I knew I was supposed to be working for myself. But I'll touch more on that in a second. I live in Nanaimo, BC. I was raised in Ontario. So this is Canada. I know that you're in Spain right now, and there's a huge thank you for meeting me at this late time. But so I'm on the island. I have a partner and a almost 3-year-old baby girl. So we're raising her. And yeah, my journey like in fitness, I guess, started back in 2012. Yeah. I had studied graphic design in school. I realized I didn't actually like sitting at a desk. I felt very like fidgety. I fell into the gym world classes and then eventually like the weight room. And I just really loved how my body felt. So I thought at the time, like, wow, I've never even heard of this before, but maybe I'll be a personal trainer. Maybe I'll pursue this. Because I grew up in like a small town in Ontario. There was no gyms. So I was a late gymmer. And I look at it and like there's like kids at my gym. And I was like 20 when I went to the gym for the first time. So started out with that. Did personal training working out of a gym. Didn't quite like the whole grind of it all and the lack of appreciation towards the trainers, I would say. This is still in Ontario. So moved out of that, met somebody who was opening their own gym, managed that gym for a while, which was a really enjoyable job because I got to work with so many members versus just clients. I really loved managing and running the show. Realized I should be running the show though. That was kind of the kicker and what kind of took me out of that environment. Then I just took off and lived in England for 2 years just because I needed a break, and still pursued fitness over there, studied more, did all kinds of jobs. And then when I came back, this is like such a weird 10 years of life, but then I came back and went right to the island, so Vancouver Island, and met my husband here. And that's when I kind of decided, okay, I want to work for myself. I want to grow something. I was kind of diving into the health coaching. I studied it for a year. And I got pregnant and things kind of went on pause. And I was definitely feeling like I wanted to be pulled back. Like I knew that I wanted to keep doing this, like supporting people. And I couldn't just be a stay-at-home mom. Like I felt like I really wanted to do more. And it was after my daughter was born that I realized like maybe supporting just moms is all I need to do. Like it doesn't need to be so complicated. I can just focus on moms. They're the ones who need it the most. They're the ones who I relate to the most at this time in my life. So I started that business when Zara was about a year old. It's just launching that, working for myself, getting a proper business license, all of the things. Kind of left out the part where we lived in Costa Rica for nearly 2 years. That was like 2021 to 2023. And that's where she was born. But when I came back, I was like, I'm ready. I want to do something. And it needs to be very aligned with me. And so that was deciding to work with moms. My husband was actually the person who chose the name Mighty Mama, which is kind of funny. I was going through this, like, what do I call it vibe? And he was just like rambling off names to me. So yeah, I can't remember what other questions you had. I don't know if that answers all of them or if there's more.
Yes, it's a beautiful name. When I heard that, I was like, oh wow, this is exactly it. Like that's what we are. That's what we want to be, you know? Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I wanted to like encompass like the feeling of you want to be strong and powerful, but even when you're not doing the things, you remember that you still are. It's kind of like the duality of who we are as parents. Like we're in like the grind of raising children. And then we're also in the, I need to still look after myself mentality. And sometimes we don't do that other one. So that's why I'm there, is to help moms remember that actually their health is like the foundation to the health of everyone in their family. And if they're not looking after themselves, it's going to kind of ripple effect into everyone else. So I'm there to be that like guide.
Yes, which I love. And you have this beautiful quote on your website as well. Your health isn't just your own, it's the heartbeat of your whole family. And I love that so much because
thank you.
I think women do, like we have to remember that. I actually always say moms are like lighthouses. And when they thrive, everyone in the family benefits. And it's very similar to this, you know, but I love it's like how you say it's the heartbeat, because that's so related to, you know, feeling well and fit and strong in our own bodies and feeling them consciously, right? And I think that is so important to remember.
Yes, that we're not supposed to be the ones that are put last. It's like the life mask on an airplane. You actually need to look after yourself so that you can properly look after your children. And to me, that's just like one aspect of it. Another aspect is that if you're looking after your health, you're demonstrating that to those in your family. So your children are getting led by a good example of how they should look after their health. And like, that's the heartbeat of them. And I didn't grow up with that. So it's a miracle that I even discovered it. Like, we ate well, but I never saw my parents didn't exercise. And I was almost taught to not. Like, my mom did a bit, but then she kind of moved out of it and definitely wasn't into like strengthening. It was more like Jane Fonda era. So I wasn't really taught like anything other than like spandex workout videos, which don't help you in the long run at all. The weightlifting is very important. So yeah, that quote came to me, and it just, it helps my clients remember their why. That's one of the most important things, right? Because we can continue to tell ourselves, oh, not this time, it's not important. But if you tie it back to like, no, you're the heartbeat of your whole family, then that gives them a strong why to showing up for their health.
Yes.
Because we can come up with all the excuses in the world to not look after ourselves.
Yeah. And many people do. We do, like we do find the excuses and blame everyone and everything for not having time, for not being able to. And it's really just a question of prioritizing it and us.
Definitely prioritizing it is one part of it. Understanding where you are at and what you want to do differently. There's a lot of moving parts in like what I walk my clients through in order to have them show up confidently and ready to go. Because there's a lot of mindset stuff there too. It's prioritizing is definitely one of them. And fun and joy and like bringing all of it together, I think is what makes you consistent in prioritizing it.
Yeah. What do you teach your clients? I saw that obviously working with moms, you have a strong focus, and that spoke to me quite a lot as well. Like, you have a strong focus on pelvic floor strengthening as well, which I think it's just such a big topic for so many women, and it's so neglected still in the public space. I mean, we speak about perimenopause now, finally. But pelvic floor is also, I mean, like, there's still so little support and knowledge and talk about it, and so many women silently struggle, and because we realize too late we should have done more. And
I think my mom is one of them. She had 6 kids, and now she's seeing the struggle. A lot of my clients, like, I do work with people in person here in Nanaimo, and a lot of them have definitely had some very difficult births and have to rehabilitate their pelvic floor. I always really focus on my core strength from the beginning of my fitness journey, but I think sometimes people don't have the clear guidance on how to do that. So it's not super difficult, but once you have like the guidance on it, it's definitely makes it so much more easy. And again, I like to tie it back to fun too, because if we just think like, oh, fixing my pelvic floor, oh, strengthening my arms, you're going to be like, this doesn't sound very fun. But when I work with people in person, I like to make it a lot of fun and find out what they actually enjoy doing. And everyone's so different. I think that's a whole part of why maybe some people don't prioritize it, is because they're just thinking they have to go do what everyone else is doing. And there's, no connection there for why they're doing it.
Yes. And I think the joy and the fun is such a big driver. I think I've never actually heard anyone like in the fitness space say that. So I love that you integrate that. And I think it really does make a difference, just thinking about it. Because, for example, I learned a language like Italian once, and my teacher, she was Italian from Florence, and she was such a funny, joyful person. I was just so excited to have like classes with her. She became a good friend, and it makes a world of difference, when you're learning something and you have to do something for yourself. Like, I had to learn Italian, I also wanted to, but It's also about like, I had to do it. So if you're having fun and you're enjoying it and you're looking forward to it, it's such a difference, and with exercise as well.
Yeah.
It's rather than being like a to-do item on your list.
Yeah. And I think the benefit too, the ripple effect into your family is that your kids see you having more joy if they're around watching you exercise. If they're not around, they're going to see the after effect of it. So I'm pretty silly at the gym when I exercise. I'm pretty silly when I'm at my clients' houses. I'm definitely like making jokes and, demonstrating, and also just showing them that I'm like just in it too. Like, okay, I'm going to demonstrate how to do this. And I'm like, oh my God, that really hurt. I'm so sorry that you have to do this. And just like making it relatable and more playful. Because I've definitely been to the classes where everything's just very serious, but who wants to go to that? I don't know. Not me.
No, me neither. I'm not a fan. Would you say you have found your purpose in what you're doing now, or has there been a journey of you trying to discover, purpose and meaning, or has that always kind of been that the path that you talked about, has that always sort of developed easily for you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it definitely hasn't developed easily. Well, maybe it could have, but like everyone else, we always have different things come up and kind of like can block us, especially if we're reaching for like a new level. I have a friend who says new level, new devil. So we can think we're on our path and then get all these emotions come up. And then we're like, maybe it's not the right thing. But what I have always stuck true to is that I want to help people. Like, I feel like that call to help, very empathetic and compassionate, and feel like a lot of emotions. So as long as I stay on the path of guiding and supporting and helping, I feel like I'm in my purpose. And then what it was is like pulling in, well, what do I find joy in for myself? Because that's, to have true purpose, I think, is that you have to be doing something that you love too. And also something that gives back to people. So there were times where I didn't feel like maybe it would work, but I don't think I ever like lost heart in it. It was just more those shadows would come up and kind of speak not truths to me. And that still happens, which is so silly, but it does. So I don't know if that answers your question. It's a bit of a deeper one.
Yes, it does. Well, yeah, it does. And, like the podcast is sort of at the intersection of spirituality and career advice, which I think the two, for me, really belong together. And which is why I often like to ask these kinds of questions. And even like when you say these shadow aspects, they might come out and they speak to you. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, what would you recommend anyone that kind of like feels that come up all the time and it stops them?
Yes, this is a good question. Because I've like literally just spent the last week working through some of my own. So one of the things that's super important is having people around you who want to hold space for that and can see you and what your potential is. And I'm very grateful that I have a couple of friends in my life who are in the same space as me that I can talk to when these things happen, because I don't think anybody should go through stuff like that on their own. I just want to say that right off the bat. And I kind of like, you could be moving into entrepreneurship or you could be starting your fitness journey. There's the same things are still going to come up. It's generally like limiting beliefs and doubts, fear, all of those things kind of like mixed together can really make someone stop from taking action. And what I find always works for me is that if I just break down the one thing that I need to do into smaller steps, I can start doing it and the momentum builds and then things flow and get easier. But if you just try to take a big part of it and do it, it's hard for our brains to process taking like a big step versus a small step. And that's what I teach about too, is really breaking it down for people who are just getting started in fitness and healthy lifestyle in general. Like, it's food, it's sleep, it's all of it together.
Hey, it's Melly from Mama What's Next, and thank you so much for listening today. Did you know we actually have a free membership at mamawhatsnext.com where you can connect with like-minded moms and find tools to help you navigate your next steps with confidence. And if you ever feel like you need a little more personal guidance to help you figure out what comes next for you, I am here to support you one-on-one as well. I know what it's like to feel you've lost yourself, to start from zero in a new country, pivoting and transforming a career. I have done it several times alone as a single mom across 4 countries. And I would love nothing more than helping you rediscover yourself, see your potential, and build a work life that feels aligned with who you truly are. So if that sounds like something you'd love, come and visit me at mamawhatsnext.com. I'd love to hear from you. When you started to develop like Mighty Mama and the business, what did you find the most challenging in creating it and developing it?
Breaking through comparison mindset. Yeah, I think that was the hardest one because it's such a big industry and it's so shiny object industry as well. It's so, oh, look at that perfect person doing that perfectly lit thing, or, you know, wow, look at that skill. And it's not good for anybody to dwell too much in comparison. And I'm actually going to share about this today, probably on my socials, is that we can get so swept into comparison and it's like paralyzing. So that was definitely one of the things I had to work through when I decided I wasn't just going to work in a gym and members weren't going to come to me for training, that I actually wanted to like challenge myself and go out on my own and be a part of the pool of businesses. And that was one of the biggest ones, because when you have the comparison, what ends up happening is you start doubting everything. You're just like, well, I can't do that. Who am I to like show up in this space? That's not me. I can't do. Yeah. So that was one of the biggest ones, which I think.
So how do you tackle it? What do you do? Because we all struggle with it. I'm going to ask the question. I struggle with it. You know, like we all kind of, when you create something and you want to develop something and you're in the beginning stages, you always look at all these people and you go like, how am I? And sometimes like we compare ourselves to ridiculously high standards also. And then there's also the case of like, really, I mean, we're all so different, and people don't just respond to like a similar offering, but they also respond to like you have a different aesthetic, a different style. They might feel more comfortable with you than the shiny object.
Those are
you just never really know,
so
right?
many good points there. So it's having like a toolbox full of these sort of strong points and reminders, and really doing a couple of things to like really draw that into yourself, whether it's journaling, talking to people, but having those reminders that somebody who's 20 steps ahead of you should not be somebody that you're even considering to compare yourself with. And the second thing that you said, which is very true, is that somebody who wants you is going to find and want you, not the shiny object or the other person. There's so much more that goes into it than just somebody has, that shiny skill or that much experience or that many followers. The people who find you and want to work with you are going to be drawn to you for your own unique personality. And that's what's really important to remember. And once I kind of thought back to all the times where I've decided to work with someone or invest in something, there was like thousands of people who I could have invested in. And I chose these specific people because there was something that drew me to them. So I am no different than that. So that's kind of, and how I take people through that is I have, powerful questions that I can ask them that helps them remember their strengths, remembers their, like, when in the past have they been through something similar? What did they do? So there's so many different ways that you can walk through this. And again, having that support is like the most important thing. Is doing it alone is just, we're not supposed to be alone. We're supposed to live in like clans, like caves with lots of people. So
I know. I did an episode on this actually about women's circles. And, like throughout history, that's especially women, we had this always. We always had a tribe. We had a community across all different generations, and we're like learning from each other and sharing experiences and supporting each other. Even like during like, there was something called the Red Tent, where, women would kind of gather together during, their periods to support each other because, they were not feeling well, or they would be there when somebody was giving birth, and to support them and strengthen them and help them heal. Yeah. And we've just lost all of that.
Yeah. It's there. It's harder to seek it out. It's harder to get it. So being in community, I think, is what you're talking about, and just having like a sisterhood. And and when you're an entrepreneur, it's like, can feel like, that's why it's important to seek out and invest in. If you have to put money into it to do it, that's what you got to do. If you don't, if you have a couple of good friends who understand it and you can walk it together, that's really powerful as well. And when people are starting their fitness journey, they often feel alone. Like sometimes their partners don't even give a crap about exercising. Like most of my clients' partners don't even want to. So they're very much like, yeah, he's okay, he's supportive, but I'm kind of in this alone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So it's very powerful when they have somebody come into their life, or if they're joining like a group of people who are all moving through a program together, that they can have each other for accountability and experience support and share what's going on with them. Yeah.
What do you feel they struggle the most with when they come to you? Like, is it easy for them to just get on the journey and stay on it? Or do they fall off the wagon quite easily? Is it?
Yeah.
What would you say is
I've only had a couple that have stayed on like really, really good. And I'm like, whoa. And it's just the nature of these specific people are highly committed, but it depends on each person. So I've seen people get committed after 6 months and it's fine. I see people who like need the support for a lot longer, and that's great too. I love being there for them, but it just depends on what's going on in their life. And that's why it's really powerful to have somebody who can kind of plan it specifically and uniquely to your needs. It's not just like a cookie cutter thing, because one mom might have a stay-at-home job that she like can't get away from the desk unless you're there. And then the other one might be coming home from work and just need your energy there to like pick you up because she's tired from like all day of work. And another mom might be just like staying at home with her baby and is like, I just need to talk to a person. And when they have all of that support comes together, they definitely rise up. Staying on top of it after that, like I say, it's like a muscle. You have to grow. And generally it takes a few months to grow that muscle of confidence that comes with moving your body and living a healthier lifestyle, finding what you truly enjoy about it, and then seeing results. That's a huge one for people too. It's like when they actually start seeing the results, they're more inclined to stay with it.
From what time onwards do people see results? Like, it's not
you're asking for yourself.
So, depending on what you're actually training, I guess. Like, I don't go to the gym. I go to, I'm very religious now, going to Pilates Reformer once a week. I have 1 day a week where I religiously go. I wish I could do that more often, but I go running, but I'm not like a gym. But I think women our age should start doing weight training. And I've watched your videos and like seen the website. And it's a lot about like weight and working with your body weight as well, right? So why is that? Why is that particularly important for women, especially after we had kids? And can you just do that at home, or do you have to go to the gym? Because I don't like going to gyms so much.
Okay. I think you can definitely do it at home. Like, that's like the clients that I serve, I come to them because they either don't have enough time to get to the gym, or they don't want to be in a gym environment, or they have kids at home with them. So it definitely can be done at home. If you want to do just body weight, you just need like a space. If you want to do strength training, then you would invest in some weight I do strength training with my clients because it's really important as we age that we continue to get stronger so that when we're, when we're in our 70s and 80s, if we fall, we're not going to like break a hip or something. We're going to have some like, hopefully some muscle still there. Bones are strong. Also like training agility and stability. Like that's something that I love doing. I love getting my clients to like stand on one leg and do like a shoulder press with like one leg because it's challenging their stability and their coordination. And then, 30 years down the road when they're walking outside and they slip on some ice, they might like, oh, I can catch myself.
Well, yeah. And this is when the trouble happens often, right? This is when often the accidents happen and because people don't do the work beforehand.
I just realized I'm bouncing a lot. Just wanted to share that I'm on a ball. Just in case you think I'm like on a chair and I'm like rocking. I'm on a stability ball, which is also
very cool.
Yeah, it's really good for your core. And it's really good for your, like, personally, I don't like sitting on a chair because I feel like my butt falls asleep really fast. But with this, I can kind of like squeeze and move. And maybe that's a helpful piece of information for listeners.
Very much so. I used to work in a company, and there was one person that was religiously always sitting on a ball all the time. He just didn't have a chair. Yeah, that was his chair. And I always thought that this is so cool. But I'm yet to get one. But I think it's really bad, like when you sit like all day, like hours and hours, and you don't move. And it's good to be able to switch a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I can't. I'll stand sometimes. I can't sit at it. My husband's like, why don't you use my desk? I'm like, no, it's prison. My body feels like I'm in prison.
So when you do the strengthening exercises, and I guess also building the muscle, and like how long does it take until, what do you tell women, like how long would it take to see some results when they start training?
I think they're going to start seeing results immediately in terms of their energy. Like they're definitely going to feel a bit like, the next day if they're, they've never moved their bodies, but the energy that they'll feel trickle in is one of the most amazing things. So right off the bat, they're going to sleep better. Their mood is going to be increased. They're just going to feel like more vitality pulsing through them. And when it comes to like maybe weight loss, if that's a goal, that'll also depend on their nutrition. Okay. So depends on the person and what they want to be coached on. But if they're like, no, I'm just eating the way I want to eat and I'm just going to add an exercise, it'll be a slower progress of seeing the weight come off and the muscle show up underneath. But they can still build the muscle. It's still gonna come. I think muscle starts to really show up after about a month, 2 months, 3 months, definitely. But then again, it also depends on how many times you train in a week. So there's all these variables. Yes. And one of the things that's the most important to remember when you're just starting is that anything is better than nothing. So if you can only do 1 or 2 times a week, like my clients, I see them twice a week. That is better than nothing. And getting little things in and around that, like walking and yoga or going for a bike ride or something that's more low intensity, that'll support what we do when we're working together.
How do you structure your program? So you work with women, mums in person, and you also work with them online, I think.
I'm actually starting to grow the online side of things. So that's kind of where, like, what I was saying, like, the imposter syndrome has come back. That's the new level. It's fine. It's been great. But when I work with moms in person, I come with a plan. We typically train for 45 minutes because that gives them enough time to clean up afterwards and generally go back to work. And I build the program. I start out with like a little foundation of a program, and then everything changes and it tweaks based on like what they're enjoying and what they want to move forward with. So I'm making it quite on the go. I don't just like create it a month out and then that's just what they're doing. And it'll be the same when I start coaching people online too, is that we will be in contact and I'll be making the programs like week by week, because everybody's so different and you just never know. They might be like, I hated that. I don't want to see that exercise ever again. I'm like, okay. so, or I love that, put that in every single time. So, that's the structure. And the working with people online, like that's kind of the new thing I'm moving into. And I have already a course that's available to moms who are just starting and are wanting to do body weight. And it's kind of really just getting that beginner off the ground. So I'm going to be relaunching that because I kind of put it out there last summer and didn't do much with it. So I'm going to be relaunching that. And then I would love from there to, support women for like a longer period in like one-on-one, but virtually. Yeah. So there's so many things I can do with it.
So basically what differentiates you then is it's quite personalized. Yeah. So if you say you do mainly, even when you do it online, it's not like a class, or you're not putting just a video course out. You actually support women one-on-one online as well, which is personalized, and you tailor it to what they need, which is a big differentiator, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So there's the personalized, where they get to like have calls with me, and I get to put their program into probably an app just to keep it like easy for people to access it. They could take me to the gym with them if they want and have me there watching their form.
I'm going to hire you then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Sometimes I see people doing it. I'm like, I need to do this. Like, see people with their phones placed. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but some of them, they have like online. A friend of mine, actually, she's Brazilian. She has like she has an app with a Brazilian teacher, and she has like courses on there. And every time, there's like a structure to the course, and she takes it to the gym because it's weight-based training, and they say all the things that you have to line up for the class, and then she just goes through with the lesson. But you wouldn't believe it. There are actually gyms out there in Spain. I don't think in Germany or somewhere where there's not a trainer that actually trains you properly in the gym.
Oh,
so we actually went here, and they said, well, it depends on the time that we have available that we can kind of show you the exercises and stuff. We're like, okay, so basically you have to bring your own personal trainer.
Oh, okay.
In a way, I guess, to be, and if you don't normally do weight training, you can make a lot of mistakes when you don't really know how to align your legs and your knees and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
It is actually quite practical to have someone like you on call then.
Yeah.
Rather than, someone there, or if there's no one available.
Totally. Yeah. And just to have somebody actually structure your fitness plan for you too. There are definitely lots of apps out there where you can just plug in that you want to do like a specific body part. But I think there's something really nice about having something personalized, and that's what it would be offered. But then also just like weekly check-ins and accountability stuff, because what I realized when I was studying with like life coaching, health coaching too, was that a lot of it's our mind. So to have somebody there that is in your corner to support you through some of the blocks that are going to come up, the resistance, I didn't show up last week. I told you I did, but I didn't. And now I don't know if I want to do it again anymore. And this is why. And I'm like, okay, get on a call, talk it through, because otherwise you feel alone in it. And then you have to overcome it all by yourself. So that's a part of what I really plan to offer as well in the personalized stuff.
Yeah. So essentially you're kind of crossing over also to that kind of emotional
mindset,
mental health mindset support, which is so important for us as well. Like just imagining some women, they might be also building a business at the same time, trying to, and at the same time, like maybe trying to strengthen themselves. And so they might need motivation from both sides.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And like that mindset stuff could be applied to all areas of life too. It's some of the great things that you can learn when you're diving into like what's going on in your mind and how you can move through it can be applied to like getting a job promotion, starting a relationship. Like there's so many cool things that it can be applied to. So it's powerful tools to have those kind of available to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One more question I'd like to ask, because I remember when I discovered you online, one of the powerful things you said was also about speaking your truth and being, us being our real true self.
Yeah.
And what made you come to this point, and what made you talk about that? And I think you felt like you wanted to share that with everyone.
Yeah. Because I think we can sometimes end up just wanting to people please or do something that isn't aligned with us. And I think when we had first connected, it was based on a mutual friend. I think it was Samantha. She definitely speaks her truth. So I think
I admire that so much, So it's like next level.
Yeah, I know. I watch her stuff and I'm like, whoa. That specifically when I was talking to you about that was more about, speaking about how you truly feel in your heart about things that are going on outside of you. But it also applies to things that are going on inside of you. So if you're wanting to move your body more, go for a new career, feeling unaligned in your job that you're currently at, unaligned in your relationship, it's like being able to ask yourself what you truly want if something doesn't feel good anymore, if you're not actually in alignment, and then speaking that out loud. It can be scary though, because I think a lot of people just, instead of taking a change and then moving into a different direction, can feel more safe and comfortable in like the thing that they're not the commonly in, but like it's like a comfort zone to stay safe, even though it's not like supporting you in the long run. That makes sense.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Why do you think people do that?
I think we're kind of like programmed to do that since we've been children. To listen to our parents, do the things that the teachers have said, to get the good grades, to be told that we're going to get the job, that we're going to be successful. And it's kind of like a conditioning, and to please the person that you're trying to date. Like there's so many scenarios that come up in life where we feel like if we don't do what we think we should do, then we're not going to get where we think we want to go. And then we end up not really being in alignment with ourselves. That was one of the first things I realized when I moved out of like college with graphic design and sitting at a desk all day, was that I was like, this doesn't feel right. I don't like this. And I could have just ignored it and been like, but I just spent $30,000 going through school for 3 years and stayed in it. But I went through a lot of like, whoa, what am I doing? This is so much harder, but also so much better for me in the long run.
But why did you like this so much harder? That's the thing. Like you hear that from people all the time. Like people said that to me always. That's why I'm always curious. Like, why did you do it anyway?
Yeah, it's a very bold question. Yeah, why did? Because for me personally, it's more uncomfortable. Like it's a less time being uncomfortable, moving into something new that's scary, than the constant uncomfortable of staying in something that you don't want to be in. So to me, it's like ripping a Band-Aid off, doing it anyway, because I know deep down that that's what I want. And if I stay with the Band-Aid on, I'm always going to have like the wound or like the sore, versus like ripping it off, giving it some air and trusting that it's going to heal, trusting that I'm going to find my path. And tying it back to like having the proper community and the people who want to like see you rise is one of the most powerful things, so that you don't have to feel so scared. The scare is going to be there kind of under it all, like a little whisper, but it gets quieter and quieter. And again, the more you like take small steps, builds momentum. So that was a lot of metaphors and analogies in that answer. Like
I loved that. Yeah, no, but that was a beautiful answer. I could very much feel that, you said, trusting yourself and just having faith. Like where do you find that? Like, does are you spiritual? What role does that play in your life and work? And where do you find the faith and the trust?
Well, I have to ask myself, like, what are my intentions? Am I doing good? Is this something that is going to bring like joy to me and joy to others? And like, that's what gives me the foundation of knowing that at least it's something that is, I don't know, supposed to be in the world and not a bad thing. And then trusting in myself, like I just have to always go back to the tools and the strengths and the different things that I've overcome to trust that it's no different. It's just a different thing, but it's no different. It's the same thing of like taking the risk, probably failing maybe a bit, or at least thinking you're failing, just because it's easy to get like caught up in things like imposter syndrome and stuff like that. But trusting that you've done it before, it's just like you did it when you were a kid, when you like tried skipping for the first time or tried doing a cartwheel, except it's just a different thing. So yeah, just trusting that you have that strength within you. And then I am definitely a believer in God, and I try to be in alignment with what his power or like his plan is for me. I wouldn't say I'm like super religious in the sense that I haven't given enough dedication, but I'm very curious. And that's definitely a chapter that's coming. I feel it. But I trust that like there is something that's supporting me that wants me to do well. That's like beyond what I can see.
Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful answer. I love that.
Thanks.
Especially that to feel that power and that support, that it's not something, it's something you feel essentially, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's such a beautiful, I love that you're doing this work, and I'm so happy to be able to share your work and your journey and how you're supporting moms. And thank you so much for taking time to chat to me today and our listeners.
Yeah.
Where can people find you when they would love to find out more, connect with you, follow your journey, see what you're doing, learn more about your work?
Sure. Well, definitely on my website and also social media. So Instagram is Mighty Mama Coaching. I wanted just Mighty Mama, but that was already taken with an account that's not even used. So that's just the thing. I'm like, can I buy that off of you? Like, what are you doing? But anyway, Mighty Mama Coaching, which is fine. And then my website, mightymama.ca. I'm going to be releasing this week, or starting to talk about it today, a freebie that I'm putting out, which walks people through a lot of what we were just talking about. When you're just starting and you don't have the tools, the confidence, the support. And so it's kind of like a guided journal that walks people through a bunch of powerful questions, and then gives them the opportunity to move forward with either the course that I have or getting more personalized support. So I will definitely share that link with you, because I think you could pop that into the notes if you'd like, because I was like completing it this week as I was going through it myself, like as I was actually going through the whole journey myself with deciding I'm like ready to switch to like more online. So it's a very personalized process, and I think that listeners who are ready to take that step would definitely benefit from it.
Great.
Yeah. And then just DMs, anybody. I'm very like social, so I will respond.
Yes, you do respond.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And I'll definitely share the freebie that you're putting out. I was going to ask where we can find that, but if you share the link with me, I'll put it in the show notes as well, along with all the links to connect with you. And we're going to put, I'm developing like a little spotlight section, directory kind of thing on the website as well. And I'll put you there too, if you like. And that's where people can find you as well. So Thank you so much for taking time today. It's been a real pleasure.
Yes, thank you. It was so lovely.
Thanks so much for listening today. And here are the key takeaways from today's episode with Mighty Mama and Moriah. Number 1, your health is your family's foundation. Your health isn't just your own, it's the heartbeat of your whole family. So when moms prioritize their health, it really creates a ripple effect that benefits everyone in the family. So you're not being selfish, you're modeling healthy habits for your kids and showing up as your best self for your family. Number 2, make fitness fun, not a chore. Forget the serious, intimidating gym culture. Moriah brings joy and playfulness to fitness because when you enjoy something, you'll actually stick with it. Number 3, start small and build momentum. Don't try to transform your entire life overnight. Break things down into tiny, manageable steps. Even 1 or 2 workouts per week is better than nothing because small, consistent actions build the momentum that creates lasting change. Strength training is non-negotiable, especially after kids. Your future self will thank you for building muscle and bone strength now. Think about being able to catch yourself if you slip on ice at 70 or getting up from the floor without help. So strength training isn't about looking perfect. It's about staying strong and independent as you age. Number 5, you don't need a gym. You can absolutely build strength at home with bodyweight exercises or some basic weights. No gym membership required, no intimidating equipment. Your living room is just as good. Number 6, community is everything. We weren't meant to do this alone, whether it's fitness, entrepreneurship, or motherhood. Having people in your corner who understand your journey makes all the difference. Number 7, comparison is the killer of your dreams. So stop measuring yourself against people who are 20 steps ahead of you. The right people will be drawn to your unique personality and approach, not the shiny object everyone else is chasing. Number 8, listen to your body and your heart. If something doesn't feel aligned, whether it's your career, your workout routine, or your life choices, trust that feeling. It's easier to make a change now than to stay uncomfortable forever. Number 9, speaking your truth gets easier. The more you practice honoring what feels right for you and speaking up about it, the quieter that scared voice becomes. Trust that you have everything within you to figure it out as you go. And number 10, results come in waves. You'll feel the energy boost almost immediately, but visible changes take time, usually 1 to 3 months for muscle development. The mental and emotional benefits, those start right away and often matter more than what you see in the mirror. Thank you so much, beautiful mamas, for listening today. It's been such a pleasure sharing Moriah's journey with you. So if you found this episode helpful today, we'd love to hear from you. Share your biggest takeaway in the comments or tag us on social media. And if you know a mama who needs to hear this, please share it with her. Send this episode to a friend who could use some motivation to prioritize her health and well-being this year. And if you're ready to connect with Moriah, you can find her at Mighty Mama Coaching and her website at mightymama.ca. She's also launching a free guided journal this week to help you get started. So let's build this beautiful community together. And remember, you're not doing this journey alone. Your story matters, your struggles are valid, and your dreams are worth pursuing. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll see you back here next week. Bye.
Stop the battle within your soul. You know it's all in your head. Being sad doesn't make you smart. It seems your heart just needs a fresh start.